Blast me to the mortal realms. It's time for the Mad Merlins review of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormbringer, issue 36 by Hachette Partworks and Warhammer. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormbringer video. So today we're on issue 36 and we get a brand new grot in the form of the Fungoid Cave Shaman. And we learn about my favourite faction, the Skaven with Blight City. So before we dive into the issue, don't forget to, of course, like this video if you are enjoying the content. And if you are, please do consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Finally, don't forget to, of course, check all the links in the video description down below, including the ever-helpful Mad Merlins Patreon. There, and also drop me a comment down below in the comment section. I love having a good natter with all of you about everything hobby. Let me know how you're getting on with your Stormbringer videos, or Stormbringer collection, should I say. Right, let's dive into issue 36 then, shall we? Rip her open, pull her out. And so yeah, we are greeted with the Verminlord Corruptor there from Blight City. And we have our model, so we'll zoom in on that and then we'll take a look through our issue. So we also get, of course, a 32mm base for him to go on. But yeah, there he is. I believe this was the special Loom boss that came out with the Malign Portents expansion a few years ago, back in 2nd edition. But yeah, pretty cool model anyway. Got lots of mushrooms all on his back. He's got a moon-shaped sickle there. He's got a little bug critter at the top of his staff there. And he's got a big old hat made out of a mushroom there. Got a squig rock to stand on. And we got a rather evil looking nose and chin blade there as well. Flip him over, we can see he's back. So you can just about see how he attaches together. So we've got contact points there and there. And yeah, he'll look pretty cool. Right, well, let's take a look then through issue 36. So issue 36, here we go. So we learn about Kragnos. We also learn about Blight City. We learn about the Fungoid Cave Shaman. We build, collect, paint, and have his rules. We got a brand new section for core rules. We also have destruction tactics and our brand new pitch battle there. So, first off then, we have Kragnos, the End of Empires. Kragnos is a monstrous deity of earthquakes and upheaval, who is said to embody the savagery of the realm of beasts. It is no wonder that his warlike spirit and violent rampages across Gur have attracted many orcs, grots, ogres, and gargants to his side, for the forces of destruction see in him a kindred spirit. So yeah, at the end of the last big campaign, we had, moving from 2nd to 3rd edition, we had Kragnos awaken from his entombed slumber to wreak havoc on Gur and awaken many beasts and align the forces of destruction. So we have a little bit of a back history here for Kragnos. So the Age of Myth, he hails from a time long before Sigmar. He is a creature known as a Jorkruk, and it is a centaur-like creature that used to roam the lands with the Draconif. He was worshipped and raised to godhood by the primitive orcs. Kragnos and his orc allies waged war against the Draconith. He eventually defeated Krondis and Karazai, who did trap him in the prison beneath Twinhorn Peak. During his imprisonment, Alariel's right of life had the unintended consequence of weakening the prison. He eventually regained all his strength, and finally, Excelsis, he broke free from his prison, but was eventually held back thanks to Morathi and Lord Croak. But he is still out and about today, wreaking havoc wherever he goes. Moving on then, we look at Blight City. Beyond the confines of reality lies the abominable Blight City, a nightmarish metropolis and home to the Skaven. So yeah, this was and is the Skaven's prime home in the Mortal Realms, or as it said, just outside the Mortal Realms. But yeah, it's a tunnel-filled system, so we use Gnaw holes, which are sort of like realm gates, but Skaven engineered that allow them to break into the different realms. And then we got a bit about the Great Horned Rat there, the many-horned god deity of the Skaven. So the Great Horned Rat is the diabolical god of the Skaven. He bids his verminous followers to multiply, spread throughout the realms, and bring ruin and corruption to all they find. A being of boundless cunning and ambition, he schemes to destroy civilization and remake the mortal realms in his image. So yeah, Skaven will do as Skaven will do. They, multiply, rage war against the man things, the storm things, the goblin things, anything things, pretty much. And yeah, there's many different ways that the Skaven worship the Great Horned Rat. There's those that worship him as a bringer of disease. Those that are magically inclined will see him as the king of all warp seers. And there's even the Deceiver, who is favoured by the shadowy figures of Clans Eshin. And the War Clans will, of course, worship the Warbringer, who is a rather warlike aspect of the Great Horned Rat. Next up then, we got our collect article for our Fungoid Cave Shaman. So yeah, the cackling and gibbering of a Fungoid Cave Shaman is followed by eruptions of powerful, if unpredictable, magical powers. These usually take the form of gnashing green jaws, leering fungus moons, and phantasmal cave squigs that bite at the Fungoid Cave Shaman's enemies. So they are prophets of Mork, as they are always cunning. We got our character origins trait table there, and his leadership table there, and we have, of course, place to write his name, which we can use Gloomspite Git's one name generator. Yeah, pretty cool. While he is a model of few components, he does need glue to put together. So we got the back end of the cloak there, we got the back and his left arm there. We got his staff with the little squirm beast. Then we got his face, glues down to a rock, and then we've glued the rock and the squig down to the base there as well. So moving on to paint him, as with all our Gloomspite Gits, we are starting with Avalon Black, picking out the yellow details of Avalon Sunset, silver details with Leadbelcher, leather and wood with Catachan Flesh, as well as any furs like on the back of his cloak there. Corn red is used to pick out the squig and the gemstone on his belt buckle, as well as the squiggling beast. Carntal blue is used to pick out the vials of liquid and his little pouch. Auric flesh is used to pick out his flesh details. Wraithbone used to pick out any bones, as well as the undersides of the mushrooms. And the claws on the back of the cape there, and the underside of our beast. Baraknar Burgundy, the underside, we paint the mushroom on his head, Mephiston Red, we paint the tops of the mushrooms on his shoulders. And then Corax White, we paint some of the smaller mushrooms scattered about the model, as well as the bug type thing holding his cape together at the back there. So yeah, Retributor armor, picking out the few little gold trinkets on him, and then Abaddon Black is used to pick out the mandibles on our little beast. Next up, we shade the red fungus with Agrax Earthshade, before moving on to Griff Charger Grey for the mushrooms, Griff Hound Orange for some of the smaller mushrooms, like on the staff here, Nuln Oil for pretty much everywhere else, the metal, the black, the bug on the back, and the blue areas as well, and the mushroom on his head. And yeah, he's pretty cool. That's our finished model, probably one of the most closest to completed models we've had so far. Moving on, we got a news page for our core rules, and this focuses on battalions and how this is how we organize our armies, our collections into a coherent army. So yeah, we have a Sacrosanct Chamber there, which is our War Scroll Battalion. We have a Core Battalion, which is one of the ones we can take from the core rulebook. And yeah, now, each battalion might have abilities. They'll all have an organization. And then we have our core battalions here as well. So a Warlord Battalion, 1 main character, 2 lesser characters, and 1 unit. A Battle Regiment, so 1 main character, optional 2 extra characters, 2 to 5 units, and 1 monster or 1 engine. An Artillery Battery, so we got a lesser character and 2 to 3 artillery pieces. Vanguard Detachment, so a lesser character and 1 to 3 infantry units. A Line Breaker, so a greater character and 2 to 3 monsters. And a Command Entourage, so this is pretty much all characters. And we've got the unit icons here, so black are mandatory, grey are optional. And then you got Commander, Sub-Commander, Troops, Artillery and Monster. And then we got battalion abilities, which are the bottom pieces here. So each one's a little unique. Moving on, we got rules for how to best use the kill boss with Stabgrot. So he's high damage, good leadership, but he's slow, as most orcs are. And he is a frontline fighter, so you want to get him where the fighting is thickest. And then we also have our Swampcrawler Shaman and Potgrot, so he does high damage. He's pretty flexible, but he is fragile, so you want to keep him at the back supporting your other infantry. Next up then, we have rules for the Fungoid Cave Shaman. Pretty cool little guy, movement 5, save 6, bravery and wounds of 5. He's sickle, has 3 attacks, 3 to hit, 4 to wound, -1 rend and 2 damage. And the little bug attacks with vicious teeth, 2 attacks, 4 to hit, 4 to wound, and only 1 damage. So he's a wizard. He can cast 1 spell and unbind 1 spell. So the Mouthpiece of Mork, if this model is on the battlefield at the start of your hero phase, roll a dice on a 4+, you get an extra command point. So pretty cool. He's a force multiplier, kind of. He gives you extra points to do things with. He has a Deathcap Mushroom, so if this unit is in a Gloomspike Gitz army once per battle in your hero phase, he can say he will eat the Deathcap Mushroom. If he does, this unit can attempt to cast an additional spell, but must be a spell from the Law of Moonclans. So the Spore Squig, which helps cloud him from enemy vision, and Spore Maws, so this is his signature spell. Casting value is 7, 6-inch range, does d6 mortal wounds to a unit, or to each enemy unit, rolling separately for each of those. That's pretty cool. And on the back we got, of course, the Deathcap Mushroom, the Spore Squig, and the Spore Maws there. And our battle is Arcane Empowerment, so we've got the wizards facing off against each other. We've got the Knight Arcanum, Arc Revenant, 5 Vigilers, 5 Vindictors, and the Stormstrike Chariot, up against the Fungoid Cave Shaman, Killer Boss and Stabgrot, 20 Shooters, 10 Gut Rippers, and the Marshcrawler Slogoth. So yeah, we got our 2 battle mats, corners, deployment zone, or quarter deployment zones, 3 objectives down the centre there. We score points as usual, and wizards attempts to cast a spell, they can add 1 to the casting roll, which is pretty cool, so helps boost our wizards. Into the future then, we have Ilfari's Guardians, so a brand new warband for the Sylvaneth. We learn about allegiance abilities and we learn about death armies. Then in issue 38 we have Vindictors, and we finally learn to paint the Iron Thanes, and we have a little battle record thing for the Champions of Orgu. So that was issue 36 of Stormbringer. Pretty cool issue. Let me know what you thought of it in the comment section down below. Really liking the paint guides. They're getting a little more detailed now that we've got more base paints and quite a few shades. Can't wait for us to start getting some layer paints to improve our basic paint jobs we've had so far. But yeah, let me know how you're enjoying Stormbringer, and until next time, thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.